Hey, just before this episode of the podcast begins, I just want to give you a quick warning. Today we're going to be talking about conspiracy theories, which for YouTube can be a little bit of a personal topic. However, me and the crew just want to say that while we're talking about conspiracy theories, we are not pushing for you to believe in said conspiracy theories. This is more of an educational satire video, and we just want to let you know in advance because YouTube, they're pretty fucking sticklers about conspiracy theories. We also want to warn you in advance that we do talk about a lot of dark themes in this, such as religion, Jeffrey Epstein, and sex cells. So we just want to give you that warning in advance. This is probably our most darkest episode yet. We didn't even realize it at the time. But, you know, when you dive in conspiracy theories, you get into a lot of these dark topics. But without that being said, we hope you do enjoy probably one of our most favorite episodes to record. And we hope you enjoy either listening to or just laughing at some of the conspiracy theories we bring to the table today. That being said, welcome to Just Vibing. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of your most favorite scuff podcast on Spotify and on YouTube and Spotify now. Ooh, we're fancy. It is
Mama made it.
Mama made it.
Are we getting that Joe Rogan money?
Yeah, we're getting that Joe Rogan money now.
Spotify, are you gonna give us a $1 million paycheck or whatever the hell you pay him?
Yeah.
You get it if you constantly spiel off racist rants.
Wait,
I don't think he's racist. I think it's just COVID misinformation.
Wait, does he actually talk a lot of racism and COVID
I
misinformation?
don't know. I've never listened to his podcast.
COVID misinformation, yes. Racism, I have no idea.
Hello everyone.
Probably.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our podcast titled Getting Kicked Off Spotify Any Percent. My name is Hunkratti, and I am here with my lovable best friends and hosts, Giggsunited.
Giggs, you're up.
Yeah, I said hello.
You were very quiet. You were very quiet. And SaladHorse, our boy SaladHorse.
Hi, me. I got a new mic, so I won't sound like ass anymore.
We will.
No, that's his voice. It just sounds like us.
Yeah,
not his
Oh,
mic.
okay,
We'll
well, I
see
can't
about
fix
that.
that, so
Yeah.
unless you rip out my larynx, I ain't gonna fix that.
Yeah, we'll just rip out your vocal cords.
Thank you. You're very kind.
No worries. Speaking of audio, I just want to say quickly before we get into today's theme, I do apologize if I talk a little bit loud. I can only hear in one ear right now, so my volume quality is a little bit trash. Hopefully they'll be fixed next episode. But yeah,
He was doing vodka shots through his ear.
yeah, it was pretty brutal. Bro, why'd you
Also,
pass
there
the
is
tequila?
no way we're letting you edit the audio because it's just gonna be a hot mess express, isn't it?
Yeah, all
I'll
right.
say it. With the vodka through your ear, do you know people who actually like do shots through their eye?
Yeah,
I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
No,
there's a thing.
I believe
it's a thing, and then people have gone blind from it.
Yeah, I can
So
believe
obviously
it.
they're
I
putting-
can't imagine why.
So I mean,
Putting alcohol straight into their eye.
there are people that do beer bongs through their fucking arsehole. I can believe people doing it through their eyes.
That's called felching, isn't it?
What areas of the internet are you people on?
I'm gonna just look it up because I don't want to.
No, why?
Oh my god. Well, while you look that up, we should probably talk about our theme for today's episode, eh?
It's sort of felching, but don't look it up.
Don't
No,
look
I
it
don't
up.
know why you would.
Don't look it up. I will quickly share my screen to the boys, and then
Oh, wait.
No, I'm not clicking on that.
Oh
just,
my god.
just have a look.
What? What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck, dude? That's sorry. What the fuck?
Okay, to everyone at home, do not search it up. It's
Do not-
disgusting.
Do not
It's-
search up
it's
bleaching.
just nasty.
Do not search up bleaching. It is horrible.
Felching.
Fletching, fleeching, fulching. Oh, he's just gone. Salad's just gone. It's all gone wrong.
Wait, dude, any
Oh my-
disorder. Okay,
Oh,
all right. Okay, just quick rant before we actually get into it because this is the most scuffed podcast.
Yeah.
Always, any Discord that I'm in, I always accidentally click on general when I'm going to general and end up in the wrong channel. I end up in like the text channel instead of the voice channel.
Oh my god.
So just quick rant, just so you know, back on track.
Yeah.
Because sorry, scuffed.
We're just really scuffed. There is a podcast called the Scuff Podcast, but I feel like we're even more scuffed than them sometimes. In today's episode, we're actually going with a theme. Yeah, fancy.
Imagine
Imagine actually following our themes that we set every episode.
I know, right? Imagine actually sticking to the topic and not going on a tangent for the last 5 minutes.
Well, that's not
Exactly.
me.
We would
No,
we would
that's not
never
my
do that.
segment at all.
No. But yeah, so today's episode, we're actually going to be looking at conspiracy theories. Oh boy, YouTube and Spotify are going to like us and hopefully don't kick us off this platform. It's nothing dangerous, we swear. But yeah, so today we're going to be looking at conspiracy theories. We're actually going to be discussing them with each other. We've basically kept these hidden, but we're also going to bring them up with you as well. So we're going to be talking about them. We've got an interesting one and one that we seem really funny, that we all found. Then we're going to bring them up to each other, and yeah, we're going to rate them, and also, yeah, that's basically it. I basically butchered that description of it, but we did the best we could.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I'm
You
not.
go, boo.
You got the message across, and I think that's the important thing.
Wait, hold on. I'll do it better. Okay. We're discussing conspiracy theories. One is interesting, one is funny, and then we're gonna rate it, and we'll bring them to you as well, so you can either find them interesting, funny, or bullshit. And let's be honest, they're all bullshit. So yeah.
We take no responsibilities for you believing in these conspiracy theories after we've presented them in a entertaining light.
It's okay. Didn't you know that listening to JvstVIbing increases your brain cell capacity by 200%? Our viewers should
No.
be fine.
Yeah,
It increases your IQ by 6,000%.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But it's not how that works.
To the 4 people who actually listen.
Yeah. You guys, you are real ones. You are the real ones.
They big brain.
You all got massive brains now.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you guys should be fine. You guys won't lose any brain cells.
I know for a straight fact that if you listen to our podcast, you might hit 6'8".
Where did that come from? Just because you're short?
No, because we have a listener who is about 6'8". So legally, we
yeah,
can say this.
That means you all hit 6'8". You all legally hit 6'8".
No. Take out the legally. You may hit 6'8".
Oh yeah, you're right. For legal reasons, that is a joke.
Oh, but if it happens, we expect money.
We'll take it. You know,
we expect all of the monies. All right.
From somebody hitting 6'8".
Yeah.
Yes.
Just more than they have a 90% chance of being in the NBA.
They do.
Actually, no, 7 foot. You need to be 7 foot for that now.
Just because you're tall doesn't mean you're a basketball player.
But legally, it also does.
It means you also have a long schlong as well.
No, it doesn't.
Moving on quickly. So, I'll go first then. My first conspiracy theory is, I think I'm going to do my serious one first. So my serious one was the Y2K. Do you guys know anything about Y2K?
Yes, the computers were all gonna die.
Yeah, pretty much. The more I look into it, it pretty much is, holy shit, once these numbers hit zeros and twos, we're fucked. We are so fucking screwed. So a lot of people decided that it was a great opportunity for them to raid the supermarkets, build bunkers, and get rid of all technology in their life, because as soon as that clock struck 12 and the year ticked over to the year 2000,
We're gonna shut down.
everybody was fucked. People believed that planes were going to fall out of the sky, like just drop, because the computers for some reason couldn't handle a number change. So yeah, that was a very fun thing. I do remember asking my parents about it. They remember it, but I don't believe it was a big thing in Australia. America is sort of the overgoing theme of my conspiracy theories.
I think
for completely unrelated reasons, but Americans are a little gullible, and they do tend to believe.
I think it was decently sized in Europe as well.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I just remember when I had to do research on this, it was just massive in America. Everybody was just riling themselves up and just freaking out.
You got to think about it. In the early 2000s, Australia had no technology at all. They were still back in the Stone Ages.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. Why. And then, okay. Another thing here as well, which probably probably is more of a concern was that a lot of computers had 2-digit years. So when they're going from 99, they would be going to 00, and which is a genuine concern that would be concerning. However, people thought for some weird fucking reason that technology would regress when it saw 00.
Because it was all
So
in
like your
binary back
phone would
then,
like turn
wasn't
into a
it?
brick. No,
So like the dates and stuff were in binary.
no,
Okay.
or maybe I don't know.
Straight up, that's a very strong no, and then you
Mm.
backpedaled quite
No,
quickly.
because now I'm thinking about it. No, I can't
Because
remember.
what binary is all ones and zeros, and I think the whole theory was, I could be wrong here, it's not my theory, but I think it was because everything will be zeros because it's the year 2000, that everything was going to shut off. Because I'm sure most of you know that like an on switch on most things has a zero and a one on it, and an off is a zero. So I think it was to do with binary. I think.
Maybe, but basically, I mean, in hindsight, it was a
Stupid.
problem that was overblown and that a lot of people freaked out about. But now when we look back on it, we realize that that was a bit silly. That was maybe not the smartest choice to completely freak out over.
It is.
Yeah, there was a few things in the early 2000s that people freaked out over for no reason.
It is interesting. I can't remember the exact name, and if I butcher the guy's name, then I'm sorry. But it is interesting, like, when you see how people will react to a possible actual doomsday. Like, everyone remembers, like, 2012 when that was happening. But, like, when it was
Oh
actually
my god,
going...
you just reminded me of that.
That movie, that terrible, terrible movie.
No, it was the Mayan calendar, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know, but then
yeah.
remember it fucked up and it turned out it was in like 2014 or 2016,
No,
and then it
that's-
it didn't end again.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
But
doomsday though.
the one I remember, it was 2011. I think his name was like Harold. I can't remember. It was like Kushner. It wasn't Kuma. It was like Harold.
Is that how Kuma?
yeah, yeah. No, but
Let's just not give people free publicity, Jacob.
Okay.
Do you know who Howard Kuma is?
I do not. I
Yes.
do not. I actually do not. I know the name, but I don't
He's a
know.
comedian, isn't he?
Yeah.
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 It was a priest. It was a priest. It was definitely not Harold Kuma. But he was basically saying like, I've done all the equations, I've done all the math, and basically it is going to end on this day. And the amount of people that like actually like, sold their houses, put them up for foreclosure, gave away all their money for the like likelihood of for the rapture. I believe it was like a rapture at the time. It was like, Jesus, that's insane. I would be intrigued to see like what people would have been like during 2K, like how they would have reacted to it.
I'll
I'll say
just quickly butt in there. The name was Harold Camping. Absolutely
it.
excellent internet historian video
Yeah,
on it.
that's-
100% recommended. It's called Going Camping at the End of the World.
Yeah, that's what I'm referencing. Yeah, Harold Camping. That's it.
Talking about doomsday, there's a religious guy around the area we live, and he came into my work, and me and Daniel have met him at a beach before, and he believes he's an angel. Each to their own, whatever. But he was telling me that doomsday is again happening soon. This was maybe like 2 months ago.
Hog.
So if got to repent all my sins, and God will let most people into heaven. But I'm not going to say the rest of what he said because it is not politically correct. And yeah, that was just more of a. Apparently, there's a doomsday happening. There's throughout history. There's doomsdays ever so often, like every few years, I swear. Because you guys remember was it in Sweden or Denmark when they were trying to collide the two atoms in that thing, and it's like, oh yeah, it might be a black hole, or it might start like blow up and then start a black hole, and then the world will crumble. This when we were in primary school. Do you remember what I mean?
No, I don't.
I do not.
Hadron Collider?
That's what it's called, yeah, but I don't remember like everyone freaking out about Sweden.
No, I don't remember either.
There was a thing where it was potentially going to make a black hole. It was in 2008, I think it is. Literally, it's like one of the top searches on Google is Hadron Collider. So it was like pretty much if the atoms hit each other in a certain way, it was it was like a tiny, tiny, tiny chance. But obviously, the media blew it up and were like, "Hey guys, the world might end this day." And then people were like full on protesting the. I can't remember what country it is. It's either Sweden or Denmark. I think it's a Scandinavian country that were doing it. And yeah, they were pretty much everyone was freaking the fuck out. And yeah, even though it was nothing. And then everyone just went back to their lives the next day. And I'm like, okay, cool. Nothing happened.
So that happened, and yeah.
That reminds me of the I know we keep going on tangents, but it's like kind of like getting ideas. It's kind of like
that's the MO of this podcast. Yeah, it's just a
yeah,
tangent.
it is just tangents. But like it also sounds similar to the whole fucking Hawaii missile alert from like 3 years ago.
Oh, do you mean the one that was accidentally sent out? Or
Yeah.
That was just unfortunate.
It really was. But it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting like relearning about Y2K because I don't know.
We were alive, but we were what, like 3?
Yeah,
2, 3,
2, 3, 4, or something around that.
Way too young.
And it's like I won't go too much on the topic because we all hate hearing about it. But it's interesting hearing about like a possible doomsday back in the day, where we're not going through like a doomsday right now, but it's like something the closest that we've kind of had to something like that in a way. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely parallels with the events.
Well, I was gonna say one of my theories.
Would you like to continue on with the segue then?
That was gonna be my second theory, so I'll leave it. But there was a doomsday thing that people thought. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's all good. It is a good rehasher to learn about old Y2K. And it was very good hearing about it. I don't really have any questions because like
it's an event that is very like you look back at it and you're like, okay, in hindsight, probably a few people overreacted and then it was a snowball effect and everyone started overreacting. But it's really good to look back on because it's quite an interesting event to see how people dealt with it, essentially.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's next?
What's your first theory, Jacob?
Oh, my first theory. All right, so this isn't to the scale of Y2K, but it's a very interesting one that's been brought up a couple of years ago, and I'm like, you know what? That is really weird. So, this is going to be a really hard question, again, because of times, but do you remember when you go to, like, movie theaters, you would see promotional posters that would advertise your favorite movie? Like, for us, I won't say exactly where, but for me, where me, Salad, and Giggs used to go, our promotional posters were behind the ticket booth. It was like the ticket counter. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Perfect. Now, you would always have movie promotionals coming out, whether it's for the ongoing moving right now or for the
one's coming up.
Yeah.
I say that's still a thing, but they got rid of the ticket booth like a few months ago.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah, it's gone.
Huh, that's insane. But
yeah, sorry.
No, it's all good.
Besides the point.
But did you ever notice that when you saw those posters, there were a lot of headless women? Like, there were a lot of, like, female figures in these posters that just had no head?
No.
What?
Couldn't say I have.
What I mean by that is I don't mean, like, there's a female body and then you don't see the head, like, it's cropped off. I mean, like, the way the body is positioned in the poster, that you just see no facial features of the woman itself. It's just cut off from the top of the poster, if that makes sense.
So what you're saying is they were trying to like divert the eyes to other parts of a woman to get more like views on the movie, or
kind of like that. So basically, I'll send you a couple of examples now. But how do I describe it? Basically, I think the theory is, I can't really go into much detail because it's still a little bit very I'll put it in general, but essentially, I believe the theory is that they use these imagery to kind of not only like incentivize you to go, because a lot of the times these women that were in these posters, they would have nothing to do with the movie.
Oh, I know what you mean. Okay, so
I didn't get what you meant to begin with this. So it's pretty much there's body parts of women.
So,
like, I'll let Salad explain.
There's a term for it, but It's
What was-
essentially like sex
sex
cells.
cells. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you over sexualize females, and you give them like you don't give them a face because there's no point, because they're just supposed to be there as a marketing tool. They're not supposed to be a person.
Yeah, they're a hunk of meat. So essentially,
Yep.
that's what the movie producers and stuff felt like.
Although I think that's what the theory is.
Yeah, like I think because there is also times where like there will be people in the poster, like these female characters that have nothing to do. Like I think one of the more interesting ones is I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard how apparently John Tucker Must Die is like more of a PG type movie or like something like that, where it doesn't really talk about sexuality. It's like, you know, getting revenge on someone that cheated on you. And like the way the poster's kind of done is it's done kind of in a sexually overtly way, sort of thing that kind of draws you into it. And it doesn't have, and apparently it's like an all-female main cast, and they show none of the females in it.
In the poster, you mean?
In the poster, yeah. And then there's another one called Confidence, which is all like they've got all the main characters in it. Like they've got the main characters and the male actors shown. So they'll have Andy Garcia, Edward Burns. They'll have Dustin Hoffman, and then there was a fourth poster that came out where it was Rachel Weisz or Rachel Weisz. I don't know the pronunciation of the name, but her head is cut off.
I think it's Weisz.
It's Weisz? Okay.
I think.
Her facial features are cut off. The only thing you can see is the bottom of her nose and her lips.
Oh, interesting.
So it's
okay,
like...
so the theory is essentially that they're over-sexualizing women to sell products.
I think it is kind of like that. I think it's over-sexualizing women to sell products, but it's also like using the fantasy of these people who are enticed by these movie posters to kind of imagine who's in them, and then they would actually go see it, because they're leaving it open to the imagination with some of these posters.
Just, I'd say it's the era as well, I think, whereas like I'm sure every era sort of has their own sort of style of movie posters. Like if you look at a movie poster from the 80s, you can go, okay, that's definitely like an 80s poster, do you know what I mean? Where I think they're sort of, would you say what, mid to late 2000s?
I feel like they go further back, but like some of these posters I'll recognize, like Chuck, Hot Tub Time Machine, Dirty Grandpa. They're like...
Dirty Grandpa was in the 20-teens, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you mean. That has nothing to do. I've never seen that poster for that movie.
Kingsman has one as well.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
No,
but like,
isn't Kingsman's isn't the main chick who's in it is on the poster?
And it's just her legs, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, it still falls into the
There's a tweet.
Yeah, it still falls into the issue of like, what's the point? Is she really serving a purpose? Like, yes, she's in the movie, but why are they in between her legs?
Exactly, yeah. It's like just basically sexualizing the image, and it will, like, you know, sex sells, so that's why people go to it. In-Betweeners had one as well, I believe.
Yeah,
well.
but that's very on brand for the
show.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like that's whereas the Kingsman, like
it's not a sexualized movie. It's about spies and shit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very good movie, but yeah, it's not. That's not the. Have you not seen the Kingsman? Fuck.
I still haven't seen it either.
Oh my god, guys, watch it! It is actually one of my favorite movies. It's so good. So good. But how do you know the woman had nothing to do with it, Jake? If you haven't seen the movie,
which one?
Conspiracy, Kingsman.
Look, I'm going off this tweet. But it is.
Okay.
But like, even so, like I've seen a trailer for it, but also, yeah. But also, just like it is kind of weird that, like, you know, this female's positioned in this way, and they have like, even if they are a part of the main cast, why not show her face?
Dude, you sound like me in high school. Oh yeah, I read the book as I read the blurb. I'm just fucking bullshitting my way.
Oh yes, I have read Romeo and Juliet, as I do not remember anything in it. But yeah, but that's my first theory. Do you have any questions, I guess?
No. Is that a conspiracy theory or is it the truth?
No, it's probably a bit of both.
Yeah, because like that's...
I would say
like,
maybe it's a marketing theory.
It's more of the
very
I think
damning.
More the conspiracy is more of the when they have nothing to do with the movie. Whereas the Kingsman, that woman is in the movie and she's a pretty big part. Whereas some of the other examples that you showed were like Hot Tub Time Machine and stuff. That follows 4 guys who go into spoiler alert, sorry if you haven't seen it, go into a hot tub and happen to go back in time. And yes, there is some sexual scenes in it, but the females have nothing to do with the plot, really. I think I could be talking about ass. I haven't seen the movie for years, but I don't think the female, well, Jake shared some posters of the same movie. It's 4 movie posters for Hot Tub Time Machine, and it's a different woman on each.
Yeah, no, that's the point. I feel like okay, we're getting real and deep analyzing. The woman in that is supposed to be it's a marketing tool.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It's supposed to signify that, hey, are you a not adolescent, a fucking 20-year-old, 18 to 20-year-old.
The movie
male,
was aimed at adolescents, I reckon.
But yeah, like you should come see this film if you're a male because look at these hot babes on the poster. Like that's what it's supposed to be. But
Yeah.
I do agree with Jake of like what's the okay, that's just there for a reason, but still what's the point? Like
it's not for the movie, it's for
marketing.
The viewership.
It's still going to this day. I just found this. It's not for a movie. It's for a fucking Netflix documentary, Fire Festival. Like when
that's that festival that was meant to be the best one ever and then never happened.
Yeah, but it's like when you use more the faces of the people that were behind it rather than just.
I'm surprised they didn't use like a campfire or like a fire thing on the beach. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
a dumpster fire.
Alright. Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty good with that.
Cool.
So I've done. Sorry,
I was just gonna say, any questions or nah?
No.
Nope.
I think we've discussed it pretty well. I've done mine a little bit different to you guys. Whereas I've got 2 subheadings and then a lot of little theories in the headings.
Okay.
So my first sort of thing is I've gone for the royal family. There's many, many, many conspiracy theories, but I just put down some ones that I thought were either funny or that maybe potentially had some legs to them.
That they're lizard people?
That wasn't technically. I have the Queen as a shape-shifting alien reptile.
Yep. So,
and
in the same vein,
going on from that, the Queen and Prince Philip used to eat children to keep youthful.
What?
So, yep. So the Prince Philip and the Queen went to Canada, and there was a child that visited them and then went missing. So they thought that Her Majesty and Prince Philip started eating kids in Canada. So there's no proof to this.
it's just a theory.
Literally, the article that I read literally said that there's no proof, but people think because they disappeared. Yeah. Anyway, another one that I thought was quite funny was Harry and Meghan's wedding was a plot to gain control of America again.
What?
A journalist tweeted, Prince Harry's kids will be American. What if one grows up to be a president and is in line for the throne at the same time? Brits are playing the long game here, but it's a smart move. They want America back, and this is just how they'll do it.
I feel like they tweeted that as a joke, and then people just hey,
people
wait a second.
Definitely caught on to that. I thought it was funny as.
The thing is with that theory is how many years in the making is that theory? Like since America went independent.
How old do you have to be to president in America? Isn't it like 40?
I don't know.
Yeah, there is an age limit, and you have to be a citizen. I just don't know too much else though.
I think it's either 35 or 40. I can't remember. I'm sure the American viewers will maybe write it in the comment section or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was interesting. I'm like, that's a massive stretch. But I'm sure you guys all remember the Meghan Markle and the Prince Harry thing, being scared of the Queen killing Meghan because of what happened with Diana.
Yeah.
Just for context, with Diana, she died in 1997 in a car accident while being chased through Paris and crashed in a tunnel. Allegedly, the driver who was driving her was drunk, but people believe that the body sample was from another dead person and does not believe it's from the driver, because obviously the crash resulted in her death. And there was also apparently Diana was allegedly, I'm going to keep saying allegedly a lot because so I don't get sued, was pregnant with her third child with her new partner. And because the new child would be a sibling to Prince Harry and Prince William, the Miss Lizzie herself was not a fan of having royal blood attached to non-royal blood. So therefore, decided to kill her, which I thought was funny.
Such a stretch, but I mean that's conspiracy
But
theories.
I was going to say
that's conspiracy
there is.
theories. Yeah.
I did read a lot about Diana being pregnant at the time of the crash. Like there was a lot, but I just have two more to do with the royal family. So the royal family is using Harry and Meghan leaving. This was at the time when they were leaving as a cover up for Prince Andrew touching kids. As most of us know, he was quite close to Jeffrey Epstein. And as Prince Andrew being the Queen's son, they're using the fact that Harry and Meghan are leaving to kind of cover that up and just like, because it wasn't in the news for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks because Meghan and Harry took over the press.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean that sort of makes sense, but I mean,
yeah.
And the last one, which I think was it's fucking stretch. So apparently,
hold on. This one's a stretch. Out of all of them, this one's going to be a stretch.
So
okay, all right.
Allegedly, the Prince Charles and Princess Diana apparently had a secret daughter who was born before Prince William. Apparently, to do with this theory, Princess Diana visited the gynecologist prior to marrying Prince Charles to confirm that her eggs, and everyone knows what gynecologists are. Apparently, they froze some of the prince's sperms. The doctor put the sperm and Diana's eggs in his wife and got his wife pregnant, and therefore had another royal. It had nothing to do with the two, like Charles and Diana, but it was their child because it's obviously both of their DNAs. And it was in 2018. It was in Women's Day, and it was a very, very photoshopped photo of a woman to make her look like Diana.
Yes, the absolute scholarly source that is a Women's Day magazine.
The whole thing is like, imagine, surely if you're a gynecologist, you can't do, for one, that's completely unethical. But like,
this is Women's Day we're talking about. Do we even know he was a gynecologist?
But like, what sort of a stretch is that? Imagine just taking like the prince's sperm like sample and then the egg sample and then implanting it in your own wife to have a royal baby.
British people are insane.
No,
and
this was
that with full offense.
Wow. But yeah, that's what I mean by some of mine got super abstract. That is definitely one of them. Like,
well,
they're all a fucking stretch.
I legit right now, I am literally like that one guy in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in front of the fucking corkboard, but instead of like, trying to prove something, I'm like, what is this? What is going on right now? It's just going everywhere.
Apparently the Queen's a descendant of Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
But when you're a family in the spotlight like that, there's always going to be wackos, and there's always going to be random people just catching your vibe.
I'd say the thing with the royal family is they've been in charge for such a long time, whereas like, because now it used to be able to take the throne from people by obviously overpowering a kingdom. You can't do that anymore. It's not a thing. Imagine if you charged Buckingham Palace or wherever the Queen is and killed her, and you'd be in jail for so long.
It is I, the Queen.
It is I, the Queen. Have you seen the Iron Mask? Have you heard of the Iron Mask movie about how the brother was like in the it was like the dungeon for the longest time, and he was like in line to the throne, and so people wouldn't recognize him. The king had like an iron mask on him.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if the royal family doing something like that right now.
Who knows?
Sorry.
I just thought they were wild, so
it was.
Well,
yeah.
Would you like to know something else that's also wild?
Yeah. What's up?
My disappointment for the week.
Oh.
And speaking of things that are absolutely wild and out of control, just like Royals rumors and speculation and that other crap, GPU prices. Now, everybody has bitched about this, and it's gone on and on for a while now, ever since the 30 series came out. However, how long ago did the 30 series come out?
I'm going
6 months? Was it last year?
It was last year.
It was last year sometime.
I feel like
this year's just all this year and last year's just combined into one.
it really has. It feels like last year's March was like this year. Like for us, it felt like it was July. For us. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
continue.
Insane. But yeah, so my disappointment for the week is I'm in the market to buy a new GPU, much to the dismay of my parents and my bank account. And
but if any of our viewers want to donate some to us,
I'll take a 3090 donated.
If any of you have a spare 3090, that's in your
don't be greedy. 3080. 3080. Don't be greedy.
Yeah. If you guys have a spare 3080 in your lost or found box, maybe you just want to donate it that way. You know.
Just chuck us a message, a DM on YouTube or Twitter, and I get first priority because I thought of the idea. Just chuck me a quick DM. I will reply and would either arrange a meetup or I'd get it sent to Jake's house and then steal it from Jake's house.
All right. Well,
because I'm not doxing myself.
Regardless, my disappointment for the week is that I've been in the market to buy a new GPU for about 3 months now. I've been waiting, watching, and waiting for the prices to drop. And I mean, it's almost been a year, I'd say, and they still haven't dropped. And even though mining isn't as prevalent, valuable as it was before, it still is very much so around. But
well, they've banned it now in China.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with China banning it, I'm shocked that the GPU prices haven't fallen and they've just stayed up, and just at an absolutely ridiculous price. I'm gonna organize a strike. No, I'm not. We're gonna protest outside the Nvidia offices. Who's with me?
Yeah.
Jake, if we don't say anything, he'll get really awkward and just keep talking and spilling off random shit.
If we also don't say anything, we get 3090s.
It's true.
Do you? We're on Spotify, but we don't have a brand deal with Nvidia
yet.
And
then when we do, guess who's not getting one for slating them?
Getting one because I had to go at them.
Yeah,
like that's the thing as well. Like the new AMD GPUs are out, prices still up. The new Intel GPUs come out early next year, the prices will still probably stay up. Like, I don't want a shitty ass Intel GPU.
The thing is, especially in our country, everyone's still recovering from COVID. And a lot of people are working from home and doing whatever, so they're having more time at home, so more people are buying better computer parts. That's the same as when there was a PlayStation 5 shortage, which there still is. It's very hard to get one. It's just because of the processors and there's so much demand, but there's not enough supply.
Yeah.
The good thing about PS5 though is like it's hard to get, but if you can get one in store, you're paying the same price.
Well,
like you're paying the intended price for it.
I guess, and then there's all those computer stores that are just charging a bit extra for over the recommended retail price for the GPUs.
Yeah.
Plus, I know suckers will pay it.
Plus, if you get a PS5, you're not gonna have to like worry about any upgrades for like near a decade.
Well, I think it's a bit weird with the GPUs because usually they put prices up if an item's going to stay on the shelf for a while, whereas they're flying out. I guess they want to make more profit, and it's probably easier to get it's a quick, easy profit.
Well, yeah, it's supply and demand. If the demand's high and the supply is low, you jack up the price because the demand's high. You know, idiots are going to pay for it, and then once idiots stop paying for it, that's when they go, "Oh, okay, this price is too high."
Price of rent is too damn high.
Yeah, it's insane.
I can. Sorry, you go.
No, I was just gonna sput off bullshit.
I was just gonna say I can relate to this because I'm trying to get a new PC. Like we had this conversation before podcast for the last couple of days, but my PC, I'm trying to get a new PC because I'm having issues with streaming, and just the big everything's sorted out, it's just a fucking GPU. And it's like, you know, do I want to wait to get... I'll probably do what you told me to do and just wait for the price to drop. But even still, it's like, oh, when will they drop type thing.
Any suggestions?
The only thing is with the GPUs, it's so much easier to just buy a pre-built, and it's some of them are okay priced. Like, and then if you really, really want GPU, it's probably quicker and easier to buy a pre-built and then individually sell off.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, I've heard stories of people who've just bought pre-builts just for the graphics card, and they've just sold off the computer.
Jesus,
because
really?
it's just impossible for them to get a graphics card that's in a pre-built, because you know it's already built by the reseller of the store, so it's guaranteed to be in the computer.
It's fucking insane. Like, I could believe it, but that's like insane as to how bad it's gotten, especially with Nvidia lately.
Especially,
huge lengths.
And so, if people do have a pretty high-end PC, what they do is they buy like a like pre-built, which has a decent graphics card, put that old graphics card in it probably, and then sell that. You could just sell it on fully. Like, the amount of, like, I don't use Facebook Marketplace, but sometimes you're scrolling when you're really bored and Marketplace comes up. The amount of, like, computers that are on there is ridiculous.
I can't say I've done that.
Like, I have not, nah.
I get bored sometimes and I just scroll through Marketplace because it's like, sometimes you find some really weird shit. And, like, that's when it's exciting.
Okay.
All right.
What weird shit are you finding on Facebook?
Dude, it's not as bad as Wish, but like...
Oh yeah, it's probably not. Mate. It's probably not as bad as Craigslist either, but yeah.
Wish is a cesspool.
But
that I have bought things off, and I'm not proud.
I have bought stuff off of AliExpressing. Sorry, no, I bought it. I bought 2 items off Express. One of them was okay, and then I realized it's not worth it. I should have just waited.
AliExpress isn't terrible.
Yeah, if you know what you're looking for on AliExpress, it's good. Like I've got phone parts that I bought from there.
It's very hit and miss, though.
Very good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's less hit and miss than Wish, but it's still.
Wish is just miss and miss. Yeah, you ain't hitting them in Wish.
Look, if you really, really want a graphics card, they do sell them on Wish.
Like I cannot guarantee that you'll actually get something that works.
But like most people just give you like 70, 90 and then just put a new sticker on it.
They'll sell you like a 3090, but instead of a 3090, you're just gonna get like it's all just gonna be made in cardboard. So you're getting like a cardboard 3090.
Oh, talking about weird things in Facebook Marketplace, someone was selling a PlayStation 5 box.
Yeah, because it gets suckers.
No, it specifically said box, and then in it goes, "This is only the box," and he's selling it for like $80, $90. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because people think it's a legit PS5. Like, yeah, I know it says box on it, but some people still get duped.
I get that, but he wasn't listing it for like, because when people have done that on like eBay and stuff, they put it for the price of the console or a little bit cheaper. Whereas this guy was literally just like $90. No one's gonna go, I want it. I can get this for $90. Like, you know what I mean?
I could see it happening for 2 reasons. One, people will probably buy it, like 3 reasons, I guess. 1, people will probably get duped, like we just said. 2, I could see people that bought a PlayStation 5, but they didn't get any of the boxes or anything for it, and to kind of get that collector's feel, they do want to get the box with it. Or 3,
yeah, I guess some people like the boxes.
Yeah, or 3, even though I feel like it'd be way overpriced for this, you're gonna have those people that'll buy like the box and wrap it up as a present, as a gift.
And then trick people with what's inside.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
But like $80 for a joke present.
Nah, it's not worth it.
Anyway, we've moved significantly off topic.
A bit of cardboard. Yeah. That would be my disappointment. Imagine if you got that as a gift.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford to put anything in it, but here's an $80 box.
Shit that happens to me. Not like, oh, imagine if I got cardboard for Christmas. Wow, how much would that sell?
I was gonna say it's a joke earlier. Please tell me your disappointment was the royal family after all those theories from earlier. All right. Well, after that long talk about, you know, royal family conspiracies, graphics card, over-sexualizing posters, and then the Y2K, we're just gonna take a step back and talk about some of the more dumb, funny theories we heard about. This one probably gonna be a little bit mean. I'm not gonna try and make fun of people for it, but there was a theory that came out this year. Do you guys remember the massive snowstorm? I believe it's from the snowstorm. If or not, whoops, should have fact checked. Do you guys remember the massive snowstorm? And I believe Texas.
No.
That was at the start of the year.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Vaguely.
So there was a massive snowstorm in the southern states earlier this year. This was around January, February. And they were going on for so long, like it was very hard to get out. I believe they lasted near a week. But there was a theory that got very popular by my very favorite social media app, TikTok. Yeah.
Number one fact website on the earth.
Number one fact website. I'm not a big fan of this. I have to start using it, but I'm not a big fan of it. But anyways,
what do you mean you have to start using it?
I'm not have to, but I'm using it for social stuff. But anyway, I found out about this. So there was this massive snowstorm in Texas earlier this year, and apparently a bunch of TikToks started going viral. And the theory was that fake snow was actually starting to get fallen onto the state and other southern states, because there were TikToks of people holding up lighters to be snowballs, and they weren't burning per se, or people didn't believe they're burning. And the theory is that this fake snow is getting fallen upon, and the culprit to blame for it is, wait for it, Bill Gates.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Obama. No, I'm disappointed.
Yeah. So, Bill Gates is apparently the reason for these fake snow being fallen onto the thing. I don't know the exact reason. I never was able to figure out the exact reason for it, but there were videos of people saying, look, there's no water, there's no dripping, there's nothing like that. What's actually happening, it's not anything sinister, but the reason, this is a short one, but the reason why it's done like this is because because of the temperature and the way that the snow was formed, it was actually skipping the melting phase and it was going straight to the vapor phase. So
right.
That's why it didn't look like it was melting, because it was going straight to the vapor phase. And they believe that, okay, so this was their theory. I'm rereading the article to make sure I got fact right. But they believe that the fake snow was actually metal.
Right.
Yeah, so that happened, and then everyone was like, no, this doesn't make sense, because, yeah, it's supposed to do that. But, yeah.
You're part of big Microsoft.
Yeah, I guess the theory is that they think that these snowstorms are a plan to cover the whole world in snow, keeping people inside. I don't know the full. Look, I should have done a little bit more research on this. I'll be honest, but when I heard,
gives us more 5G coverage.
Yeah, but when I heard the conspiracy theory that the world is being covered in fake snow by Bill Gates, I think I should have just stopped right there and just, we just talk about it.
Just switched your brain off like they did.
Yeah, I just did. I really just did.
I have no questions.
Yeah.
That sounds.
Yeah, that's
No, it sounds perfectly legit. Like, I cannot begin to think of any reason why that would not be real.
Yeah.
I cannot poke one flaw in the logic of this.
Neither.
Before we continue, let's just say, before we go on to our next theory, let me just quickly say, thanks, TikTok. Thanks, TikTok. All right. So, moving on, can we forget that theory ever... Actually, not even theory. Can we forget that thought process ever happened and go on to our next theory?
Well, talking about things that were coming from the sky, this is something that's in the sky. I've done the same thing as I did for the first one, where I have one overlining thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done the moon.
Okay.
So the one I found the most interesting is the moon doesn't exist, apparently.
So what is it?
The flat earthers believe that the moon is just a projection in the sky, which is there for a reason, which we could study for 1,000 more years and no one would understand why. So, straight facts.
Mm.
And they believe the moon is a hoax, which will create a distraction to the general masses, because apparently Nibiru, also known as Planet X, is going to crash into our planet and cause an apocalypse.
But our planet's flat according to them, so how what?
Yep.
It's just gonna go
brain
straight
hurty.
through, and we're gonna turn into a donut.
Yes, pretty much.
Right.
And so yeah, that one I thought was
Or it's
just like
gonna catch it like a net and flick it straight back out into space.
yes, exactly. Then there's obviously the one that everyone knows, the moon landing was fake. So I did a bit more research on this, not a lot, but a little bit. So apparently 5% of Americans believe that the moon landing was completely staged, and they back it up with questions like, why is there no stars in the photo of the moonwalkers? Why is the US flag fluttering? And why is there no footprints? Blah, 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 that sort of stuff. And I read into it, and there's no stars because it's daylight on the surface, which washes them out, apparently. The US flag is fluttering because there's a metal rod sewn into it, and the appearance of moving is the wind. And apparently there's no footprints because the weight of the lunar modules and stuff is evenly distributed, and the astronauts' weight on their boots couldn't cause it because you need moisture. I don't know, something like that.
I feel bad for you that you had to research
Yeah,
this.
I was going to say, if like you're
Yes.
quoting, it just sounds like like I'm not saying you've gotten this information wrong, but the way that like they've quoted it, like Dave
Yes.
said it, it just sounds like they're just saying things without saying things.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
But also, the classic, there's aliens on the moon. So apparently NASA deleted evidence that there was a UFO, but there was 100% definitely evidence that the moon is not real, and it's actually
100%.
an alien space station. 100% evidence, apparently. The surface of the moon is covered in debris to make it seem like a natural celestial body, but it really opens up like a gate and allows spaceships to enter in and out.
Wait. Can you repeat that last one for me, please?
Wait,
I
what?
might have missed something
I think I
important.
missed something there. Yeah.
So NASA has deleted evidence of UFOs, apparently.
Okay.
But
No, just go back to the gate bit.
So there's a guy who believes that the surface of the moon is covered in debris,
Yep.
which seems to make a natural celestial body.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it really opens up like a gate and allows
You've just
spaceships to
lost
enter
me.
in and out.
Fuck. What's up with this? I mean, that would be like extremely fucking cool. Can you imagine looking up at the sky and just seeing like the moon just like split in half and like this massive flash, so the spaceship gets flung into space?
My brain went somewhere a little bit different, and I'm not going to elaborate.
My brain also went different, but I was refraining from saying it.
We're fucked
But
up.
I just thought it was really funny. So
yeah.
And I have one more moon one. So apparently the moon makes lunatics and insomniacs. So a popular theory is that a full moon, it can affect a human's well-being, which can cause us to be wilder, give birth, or harder to sleep. And
Yes, I do constantly give birth when there's a full moon, and it's quite a problem. You have to figure out why.
And apparently people are more likely to commit crimes. So apparently it's linked because the full moon has been linked to these activities. There's been studies and stuff, but nothing's been like proven 100%. However, the theory may have some legs onto it because obviously when there's a full moon, the seawater sort of rises, gets higher. Yeah.
That's a dark fact.
So as human beings, as a baby, we are about 78% water, and then as adults, we're 60%ish. So people believe the water in us kind of rises and then causes these sort of reactions. So either like
where? To our brains.
Just rises, and I didn't go that deep into it, dude. So yeah, like it rises, and that's why like with babies being more watery. Don't think I was ever gonna say that.
that is a phrase.
They just swap out.
That is a phrase.
Yeah. So apparently, with them being more watery, that's why it's more likely for them to like come out on full moons. So more people are born full moons, and obviously, like I don't know, people just act different on full moons because apparently the water rises to their heads, whatever, and just clouds the judgment and whatnot.
Insane, just insane.
Yeah. Couple of things I want to kind of add because I've heard some interesting things. So I've heard like a lot of I have heard moon landing fake stories in the past, and one of the main points that always get brought up is apparently the Russians did it 8 years earlier or something like that. Like apparently the Russians did it 8 years earlier. the moon landing or something like that. Yeah.
Landing early, but I think I went on an American website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not gonna
Sounds
admit
like
that.
it.
Nah, they'll never admit that. The other thing that's interesting, so the whole thing about the moon being an astral projection type thing.
Yes.
So I could honestly see if this theory still goes in 50 years, like it's still going on in 50 years, I could see that having some weight, not weight, but I can imagine people saying something because there are some interesting. Sorry, you go.
I just think it's funny with that theory with the projection, and then he goes, the person who was like saying it could take over 1,000 years to figure this out though. So it's like, I have no proof, but
okay.
Even if we looked at it in for 1,000 years, nothing would change. Like
because something really interesting happened recently, or is happening right now. But good old boy Mr. Dogecoin, Elon Musk, he's actually looking into sending shuttles out, or shuttles or rockets or whatever, out into space that actually start making astral projections for advertisements. And basically what people do is that companies would actually pay for these advertisements to come up in space.
So we truly live in the worst timeline.
We really do.
So it'd be like a laser show sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where like they project things onto the sky.
Like a screen, yeah. So like I that's what I was saying, like I could honestly imagine if this theory was still going in 50 years time, then if they're like, oh no, that wouldn't happen, I could imagine people that support this theory would be like, well, they've got those advertisements in the sky, why can't the moon be fake? Like I could see people going to that logic.
But they can't figure that out for 1,000 more years, Jake.
No, you're right. They can't figure it out for 1,000 more years. But yeah, just buying advertising in space, space is weird.
That is very weird, and I don't think I'd like that.
No, everything.
Yeah.
I think it should have stopped with whole advertising on tattoos. It really should have stopped there.
Advertising on tattoos.
Some places, if you got a tattoo of them, would give you free shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what Jake means, but
yeah, it was basically like that.
I think if you got Domino's tattooed and you got free Domino's for a year or something. But I think that was an American thing only.
That is not worth it.
That's not worth it.
Garbage Domino's pizza.
You know what you should get rewarded for? This cool little guy down here. He's got sunglasses.
For fuck's sake. Anyway, salad.
So moving on from dumbass Americans to more dumbass Americans.
Oh, crap.
For fuck's sake, this is getting.
I think I've already done that segue. Actually, not why. That really rings a bell.
We've insulted the Royals, so that's going to get half of England against us. We've insulted Americans on multiple episodes at this point. Yeah. So if our
we're
podcast
not insulting all Americans. We're insulting the dumb ones.
It's like I said, Jake. The 5% that believe it's false. It's that 5%, which sometimes is more than 5%. But
yeah, as we also said, if you listen to this podcast, your IQ goes up by 600%. So
exactly. So therefore, you're not dumb. Yeah. So you fellow listeners are not part of the dumbass Americans group. Congratulations.
We're proud of you. We're proud of
you. But yeah, so the last conspiracy theory for tonight.
No, I got. Did you not look at the lineup? I put a little sneaky one on you.
Oh no!
Oh, he did.
He did.
Second last conspiracy theory for tonight is chemtrails. So, chemtrails. I don't. How do I explain it? So they're actually when a plane's flying overhead, have a look at it. Sorry, English. And you'll notice that there's like a white line that's trailing behind it. So what that actually is, it's called a contrail or condensate trail. That is a streak of condensed water vapor created in the air by an airplane or rocket at high altitudes.
Thank you, Google.
Thank you, Google. And by scientist standards, that trail. Okay, Google. No, I did not ask you to come up. And by science standards, that contrail can persist for hours, so they can stay up in the air for a long time.
Right.
Now, some wise people, I'm not naming certain countries of people, but some wise people thought that these contrails were actually chemtrails and that they're left by aircraft and sprayed by aircraft for nefarious purposes undisclosed to the general public. So somebody has decided that they're going to spray this chemical behind all these airplanes and poison everybody that's down on the ground because as they believe the chemicals will slowly float down and poison everyone.
Is it not to just recharge the pigeons?
No, it's not. Is that the second one?
Huh?
No, it's not to recharge the pigeons. So the purpose of the chemical release may be, and this is the super insane parts of it: solar radiation management, weather
Right.
modification,
Mm-hmm.
psychological manipulation,
Gotcha.
human population control, biological or chemical warfare,
Yes.
testing of biological or chemical agents on a population, and that those trails cause respiratory illnesses and other health problems.
I believe it. Totally
So-
true.
So
Yeah.
essentially, the conspiracy theory is that there's somebody very high up who must own a lot of airplanes, has decided that nope, today I'm going to poison millions of people down on the ground
I would not be surprised if it was Richard Branson.
because I feel like it. And
Is that slander?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, take that back.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, so essentially, people think that airplanes are trying to poison them.
Well,
As you
yeah.
tell, massive in America.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, if you watch Snake on an airplane, then yeah, they are trying to poison them.
I mean, snakes on a plane.
Wait, what did I say?
Snakes on an airplane.
You're close enough.
No,
You're
damn.
almost there.
I ruined the joke. Continue.
I'm done with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I just think that it's just ridiculous. That even a second of Googling would tell you that, hey, that's not what that is.
Yeah, but like
Not at all.
for the 500 true articles, that one article that doesn't say that.
Yeah, that reinforces their belief is the reason why that people believe that the government's trying to poison them because it's population control. And no, I didn't punch you the other day. It was the chemtrails that forced me to do it.
No, I did not commit mass amounts of murder. That was the chemtrails in the sky, okay?
Well, I was having this conversation with someone the other day. About it's not bad. With the news point that I brought up, like I don't know if it's the same in other places, but I know in Australia, like our main news sources, like newspapers, are the Herald, Sun, or the Age. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to look up articles online, they'll let you read the first 3-4 lines, and then they want you to pay for it. And because I'm not saying they're reliable sources, but people are having to pay for it, and a lot of people don't want to pay for it. Therefore, they're getting their news from other places, and that's why some of these theories may have come about.
Can we just make sorry, you go.
No, you go.
I was just okay. Can we make a second Daniel's disappointment about how these articles are fucking frustrating when you're trying to reference something for a paper?
Yep.
They're behind a
paywall. A whole other topic for a whole other time because I can go into egregious amount of detail.
Yeah, we won't talk about it now because that would be another tangent for us. But honestly, fuck those articles with paywalls. Legit, you make studying 10 times harder. I'm not even kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that's please turn off your ad block. You turn it off, and it's ha, I trap you.
Yeah.
Straight back on.
Honestly, I could believe being chemicals that affect mood, but not right now. Years down the line.
Jake, do you have a fun little story for us today?
I do have a fun little story. I have one of my good old fashioned is Jake joking stories today. Now, how this always works, as always, is I read out basically a couple of cliff notes, a couple of an event that happened, and these guys get 3 total questions, and they have to figure out if it is real, or for this episode case, if it was a theory, or I guess, fabricated, like most of the conspiracy theories that are out there. All right, let's begin. So in 2018, me and my girlfriend at the time were dating for a couple months, and she came down to visit me, and we both stayed at an apartment. We went to a nightclub, and we decided to leave early because we weren't feeling it. So we waited at a bus stop. While we were waiting at this bus stop, 2 kids walked up to us, and one of them decided, fuck it. They slapped me and they ran off. I couldn't be bothered chasing after them because, had a few brewskis, couldn't be bothered. The one that slapped me, though, he had a steel ring. He was wearing, like, a metal or steel ring. And the next morning, I noticed that, yeah, there was an apparent mark on my face. It was, like, a normal bruise, but there was a little bit of, like, purple on my face. It was hurting for a couple more days, so I'm like, screw it, I'm going to go to the doctor's to check it out. So I went to the doctor's, and gave me some pills, and he basically said I got really lucky because it was around if he moved his hand in a different way, or like any other way, he said I was 4 centimeters off from having my orbital bone broken, like my orbital bone for my eye. So yeah, that is my story.
So we get 3 questions, yeah?
Total, yeah.
Any reason why you didn't file a police report?
Couldn't be bothered. It's not worth it. Legit, that's it. I was more focused on having a good time with my girlfriend at the time.
Unfortunately, that does check out.
I legit could not be bothered. Because my girlfriend came down, and I just, would rather have more time spending it with her than, trying to file a police report on a kid that I barely remember.
How have we... That's not a good question.
No, that's not a good question. I know what you're going to ask. Because I know the story, and no, I don't know the story, sorry. But I know the setup, and that does check out that you did stay with your girlfriend for a night. Yes. However, I don't know if you guys went out to a nightclub. Oh, wait, here's a question. What nightclub did you go to?
Hawker.
So you went... Okay.
Right, go on. Go on, Giggs. You got to ask one I asked you.
I don't think that he's ever been to the Hawker, but he could have.
I have my answer.
I think I do too. What's a good question? You said you left early.
Mm-hmm.
These get harder and harder every time.
Are you asking why I left early?
No, because you probably just weren't feeling it. That's not my question.
Okay.
What time is early, and why are you at a bus stop, not a train stop?
It was...
That's 2 questions.
Okay, why are we at a bus stop and not a train stop? A train station?
Because it would have been faster if we took a bus to another train. Okay, so... Actually, no, people know where the Hawker is. So we would have had to take a train from here to Flinders, and then we had to catch another train there. It actually would have been faster if we caught a bus that was 10 to 15 minutes away from the other train line, and then catch a train on the original train line, if that makes sense. Like, I'll tell you where I caught the train from, if that makes it easier.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm quite... I know the... Yeah.
I have my answer.
All right.
Alright.
You want me to count down and you both say it?
Yep.
Well, if we say it at the same time, I get matched. You go first and I'll go second. Or if you want me to go first, I'll go first.
I can go first. I'm going to say no, this is untrue. You are joking.
I think this is untrue too.
You're both correct.
Yeah.
So I feel like we would have heard of it before now.
I don't think you've ever been to the Hawker. I'm gonna be honest.
That was my thought.
Was like,
really?
Yeah.
You want to know something funny? We've been to the Hawker together. I. We went without me, not you. I went with Salad and the other group that we used to hang with me and Salad.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we went there like a while back. It was after our first soju trip.
Shit.
Yeah, I've been there twice. Second time I went there, we did.
So you had no excuse for that answer. I that was my reasoning behind it as well.
Whoops.
I'll tell you the reason I left early because I kind of had a feeling. The second day we went was actually, this is the last time I went to a nightclub. So the second time we went, me and my girlfriend, it was during Beta Bar. And is it Beta Bar? No, I don't think it's Beta Bar. It's like
so.
Oh, it is Beta Bar. Okay, yeah. I was just not feeling it.
Yeah, fair enough.
It was.
That's what I said.
In concept, like I think there's probably some better bars that can do it better. In concept, it sounds cool that like you go to a bar, you go to a nightclub, and there's like video games there, but it's just weird. It depends on the bar that pulls it off, I'd say.
Yeah, it also depends who you're with as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to know what your secret theory is, Giggs.
Yeah.
I was just reading. I looked up conspiracy theories, or funny conspiracy theories, or weird conspiracy theories. I can't remember exactly. And I stumbled upon, allegedly.
Allegedly is a great start.
Jesus and Mary were married.
Can you just repeat that?
Jesus?
Yeah.
and Mary were married.
Mary Magdalene, I think her last name was.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's been said in the Gospel of Philip, which is the basic plot of the movie and book Da Vinci Code.
Yep.
That from the Gosnik Gospel, which it was discovered in 1945, that apparently Mary refers to Jesus as kononos,
The
which,
daddy.
so in Greek terms means companion or partner.
So,
and in exchange, Peter admits that he admits to her that the Savior loves you above all other women. This is a tense moment in the scripture which betrays jealousy, and other apostles might have felt Mary's relationship with Jesus. The only other evidence used to support this theory is to mention Jesus kissing Mary often, but says some kissing was a custom and a typical way Jesus to practice with people who were close to him. So, in some Catholic religion, Mary and the Virgin Mary Magdalene,
something like that. I don't quite remember.
Are two different Marys, but in this one, it's the same Mary.
That's
so,
whack.
Take that as you will, but I just thought it was interesting, and I'd throw a little sneaky one in there.
Put a sneaky on you.
I did pull a sneaky on you. What are your thoughts, Jacob, on that? Because you know the original, like, I say story. I'm just going to call it story. Yeah?
About that, I have no idea who this Mary character is.
Mary's Jesus' mother.
Yep.
Oh.
So the Virgin Mary.
Yes, that's exactly what my brain was doing too. I just didn't vocalize it.
Yeah. So I don't know much about, like, you know, beliefs, not stories, because some people can take that the wrong way. Belief, like, history.
It's technically, it is a story because it is written.
Yeah.
It's
just depends on if you believe in it or not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
but
yeah, that's wild.
Some would say whack.
I can't talk about much because I don't know much of the story, quote unquote. But, like, if we just take away the story aspect, if we take away the character aspect and focus on the relation aspect,
so Mary. So in the Catholic religion, I think it was saying Mary. The two Marys are different. One of them's part of his apostles. I'm assuming you know what they are at least.
No.
Okay.
I don't know much about, you know.
So do you know the painting, The Last Supper?
Yeah.
That's Jesus and all his, like, apostles or, like, disciples.
Oh, yeah.
So in the Catholic one, Mary's different and she's part of that. But in this I think it's Gnostic one.
That means nothing to me.
It's a gospel that was discovered in 1945, basically. Like, it was hidden and it's used as the plot of the Da Vinci Code, apparently. But yeah, apparently that it was there's, like, in it says that she refers to him as a companion / partner, which is weird. And two, that apparently Jesus kissed all his apostles.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's why I thought I'd bring it up, because I thought it was weird, but also interesting at the same time.
Yeah. I need to scrub my ears after. Oh, I need to scrub my only remaining ear after that. It's interesting. Before we move on to Ken's conundrums, I want to bring this up with you guys as well, because we're going to be rating them earlier. I know we've got which theory is our favorite and which is our most funniest, but do we also want to talk about which one we think is the most BS and which one we don't want to be true?
The BS and not wanting to be true could be in the same topic, I think.
Okay, so we just want to do most BS?
Most unrealistic.
Most unrealistic, okay.
Yep.
Okay, I like that. Because I feel like talking about the negative of a conspiracy theory would be interesting as well.
Alright. You should go first.
Oh,
Jay,
do we want to do
name your three off, I reckon. I'm just going to post
conundrums
first, and then that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
we conclude with that.
Okay. So I have 4 this week.
Oh, okay. 4.
I usually have like 4 or 5, but I actually got one that related to one of my things. So
Not about the royals, is it?
no.
Okay, cool, cool.
How would our view of space change if the moon was actually made of cheese? Oh, that's
Wait.
another one. People think the moon's made of cheese.
How would what?
How what?
How would our view of space, like the solar system, change
Yeah.
if the moon was made out of cheese?
Hungry.
Space would be hungry, or would you think other planets
I
are edible?
I would think other planets are edible. If the moon was made out of cheese, definitely other planets would be edible.
I'm confused by the question. I think I can kind of understand it, but I'm going to say that the other planets aren't edible, because if you get like a planet out of mate, that's just fire.
No, the question is, if the moon did happen to be made of cheese,
yeah,
how would your perception of space be? Like, what would change? Like, what would you think?
I wouldn't think. Okay, I wouldn't say the space. Like, I would view space as hungry. I would view space as more wild, because then that mean that, like, you know, like, we believe that space is just like a bunch of planets with rocks and like elements and all that sort of stuff. But now it could be anything. Like, you could go into a planet and like it could just literally be gummy worms. You know what I mean? I'd say my perception of space would be it's more wild than we expect it to be.
Mine is mouse people. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you.
Nothing.
Thank you for the very thoughtful contribution, Cobb, and thank you for the also very thoughtful contribution, Giggs.
He knows how, he just knows what to say without saying too much.
That's it's like we drink water, which our planet is 70%, 90%. Therefore, legally, mouse people. Just think about it.
I don't think I want to.
All right. What 2-hour chunk of history would you want a video of? It could be any point in history. So, like, what 2 hours in history would you want to view?
Of like any history revolving around us, or history of all history?
Of all history. Like, I don't know, you could want to see.
2 hours is such a short amount of time, though.
Yeah, but like you could just be like the 2 hours where Joan of Arc is burned at the stake, for instance.
Okay, well, I'd go 2 hours of the pyramids getting built.
Ah, smart. See what's up with the pyramids.
Yeah, like how the fuck they managed to do it.
This would be kind of a brutal one. 2 hours of like Colosseum fights, I'd say, like gladiatorial
That'd
combat,
be cool.
just for something different and interesting.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
I want to watch like more recent sort of. Oh, would it be a waste to watch more recent history? Nah.
It depends on what the history was.
Like, I feel like it would only be. It depends on the history. If it's like something you've already witnessed but seen again, I think it's fine. But if it's like something you've experienced and you're like, then probably it's a waste. Yeah.
No, not something I've experienced. It was before. I was going to say stuff in World War like 1 or 2, like planning meetings, but no, I'm going to change it to the Battle of Hastings.
Oh, okay. Battle of Hastings is actually pretty good.
I don't really know what that is.
I actually also do like the World War meetings. That's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, the World War meetings would be interesting.
Like the strategy is not like, or even like part of,
or the end.
Yeah, the what's that movie called? Lauren Benedict Cumberbatch, where he cracks the codes.
Oh, I know the one.
It could need. No, it's gonna bother me. I don't find it. It's the Imitation Game, isn't it?
Yeah, Imitation Game.
Or that. I don't want to watch like them actually figuring out the machines going. Oh, this is the code. That would be sick.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay. So if you could choose one element that you could control, what element would you want to control?
Water.
That was mine. Water would be sick to control.
Because water pretty much is literally anything.
Even
so, like, to an extent, you could bloodbend.
For fuck's sake. I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to say anything.
For fuck's sake. I mean, the cool thing about water is you can remove the impurities from it, and you basically got fresh water.
Yeah, that's true. What would you pick, Jake?
I was going to say electricity.
That'd be cool.
But
It's fucking everywhere at the moment now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to say Earth. Think about it.
Fire.
I could basically build buildings and like shelters and all that sort of thing in a matter of minutes.
You
Like,
could also just cause mass earthquakes.
I could. You guys could also cause mass tsunamis.
Oh,
Yeah, but tsunamis are cooler than earthquakes.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I'd say Earth just for more like building sort of purposes.
This is also a tell on what people's favorite Pokemon are. What type?
that is very true.
I want to be a Dragna.
Alright, last one. If you could just put one word into any document in history, what word should you put in there and where would you put it? So, like in the Bill of Rights, you could write one word that would change one of the rights. For instance, you have one word.
I have an idea, but I need to think on it. So, okay, I've got an idea, but I'll wait to hear what Salad says first.
I think Salad's thinking. I think you can
yeah,
go.
I'm still thinking. You can go
All right.
first.
So any document, right? So anything
Yeah.
that's written on a piece of paper, they'll say.
It's any document in history, yes. I guess you could go for that.
Okay, script of Romeo and Juliet. As the final breath, in Juliet's final breath, she just says, yeet.
Fucking know it.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking like political, but then like when I was like, wait, could I get away with any piece of paper which counts as a document? I'm like, oh, I could work with this.
So you're very on brand for you.
Yeah, yeah. So Romeo and Juliet, before Juliet dies, we add the word yeet.
That means
See,
it'll
I don't
be in
know, this is-
Shakespearean times.
This is the first one that I'm really stumped on. I really don't know.
What would
Because it's
you
only a single word.
Yes, that's why it's
Like,
hard.
Yeah, this one's very difficult. I don't know. I really don't know for this one.
Where it's the right to bear arms, the right not to bear arms. That's what is that? What document's that? Is that Bill of Rights? Was that the
Declaration of Independence.
That's the one, yeah.
I can imagine Salad just being like, Declaration of Independence. You just write Morty in there somewhere.
Yeah, okay. In the 10, 12 commandments, whatever it is just penis written instead of anything else. Done. Problem solved.
All right,
You took a lot of time to think about.
So was that all your conundrums for us, Caleb?
Yes, they were the 4.
All right. Because we've gone through all of these conspiracy theories, we gave you people as well some time to digest as well by talking about, using our normal segments like Caleb's conundrums, Daniel's disappoint, is Jake joking. Now is the time to all of us to come together, and basically we talk about, we basically rate these conspiracy theories. Now we're gonna have 3 categories. We have which one is our favorite, which one is the most funniest, and which one is the most unrealistic. Now, since they haven't had a chance to speak in a while because we had mine and Caleb's segments go for a bit. How about to start off with, we'll have Daniel go first and reveal their favorite conspiracy theories. We'll talk about their conspiracy theories ratings.
Okay. My favorite has to be without a doubt in my mind the Bill Gates Snow one. I just think, okay, I'm tossing between putting it in the funniest and putting it in favorite, but I think I'm going to put it in favorites. I just think that it's insane. I just think that is hilarious, and it's so outlandishly ridiculous that it can't possibly be fake. It has to be real.
Yeah.
The funniest for me was probably the moon segment. I'd say, like, with all the different no, I take that back. The Royals for me. Only because once again they were all very outlandish. They were all very once again insane. And then Woman's Day is a credible source among them. So that really pushes it into this is fucked.
Yeah.
And then the most unrealistic, I'm gonna stick with my chemtrails. A tiny, minuscule amount of research. Even not researching what a contrail is, even just researching what the atmosphere is made out of, could debunk that theory in an instant.
Okay. My favorite, I think I'm gonna start off with. I'm gonna kind of not cheat, but I'm gonna use one of my own. The headless Hollywood women. I think it's, in my opinion, it's the most realistic out of most of these.
What do you mean?
Except maybe Y2K, but I think like especially now in current, because it's kind of interesting. I didn't even think about it until now, but it's like a multi-generational conspiracy theory, because like it's been going on since like it looks like early 2000s, and it's still happening like even 2 years ago with Fire Festival, the documentary. So I think that one's very interesting to me, especially in like a media point of way. Most funniest, I definitely also agree with Daniel. I'd say the Royals. There was some pretty fucked up ones in there. And I'm always a fan of dark comedy in a way, but also just I agree. Women's Day being a reliable source, that kind of that just yeah. As well, we have to, as well as, even though you didn't bring it up, the idea of Prince Philip, not Prince Philip, Prince Charles being a descendant of a vampire.
It was Philip, Prince Philip.
Oh, it was Prince Philip? Okay. Yeah, that one's funny. And then the stealing children just to consume their youth. I don't know, that's just a meme to me.
What do you mean? That's facts.
Sorry, you're right. Most unrealistic? I want to say chemtrails, but for the sheer absurdity of fucking TikTok, I have to go with Snow Bill Gates. Like, the idea of Bill Gates making a giant pile of snow. Like, this has to be enough to cover Texas and other southern states. And, like, descended on the southern states. Like, it's just like, yeah. Oh, I was gonna make a dark joke there, but I'm not. Yeah, that's my 3 ratings, I'd say. I know 2 of them were my own, but, yeah, I don't know.
My favorite, for me, is the Mary being Jesus' lover and dad, because I just think it's funny, and it's really, really starting... I'll say that's where some media has gone completely. If you know, you know, you know.
No, I don't know.
I do not know.
Some forms of media has all halted that way, inclined.
You're gonna have to keep going.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna elaborate on that. That's
Alrighty.
Yeah.
The
The orange and black. Yeah.
I've got no
The orange and black. Yeah, I see what you mean. Waka waka.
Yes.
Yeah. The orange and black. Yeah.
Yeah. The funniest, I think, is some of the Royals ones. I know I said it, but some of them are just fucked. Like, there's no way some of them, like, I don't know how people think of them. Like, it's pretty funny. And then most realistic, I think probably the Y2K.
Wait, as in most realistic or most unrealistic?
Unrealistic.
Oh, is it unrealistic?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I read it as realistic. Most unrealistic is the Chemtrails, I guess.
It's just an insane theory. Like,
yeah.
How about you just go up there and do it yourself, and then you realize that your theory is wrong.
But like that one article they find in 1,000, that's the one.
And you know,
that proves them right.
You know where that one article is being posted?
Women's Day.
Women's Day.
Good old Women's Day.
Yeah.
A completely reliable source of information.
I'd say they're the only like bit of like source that I actually kept in. I like got rid of all the other sources.
Wait, let me see where my sources are from. It would be funny if mine are from... No, mine are from Popular Mechanics.
One of mine's just from some journalist who tweeted something.
Mine's Wikipedia. As you can tell, I did the most amount of research here.
Yeah, I mean, you got it from the most conspiracy. I mean, hey, we're gonna now have three groups of people come after us for this podcast. The fans of the Royals, half of the Americans, and fans of Women's Day.
Yep.
Some of them are... You can be 2 out of 3, but you can't be 3 out of 3.
If there's a 3 out of 3...
Actually, no, you can be 3 out of 3. You can be 3 out of 3.
If someone comes up to us and they're a 3 out of 3, we're fucked.
That's alright.
Yeah.
They're probably like 70 and living in a retirement home.
Jesus. Yeah, I think that was a really good episode. Would you guys
It's long.
agree?
Yeah.
It actually was not that long. Would you like to know the actual runtime before editing?
Sure.
1 hour and 35 minutes.
And there was that 5-minute segment we're cutting out, so that's not terrible.
Including that.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, it's not like some of the 2 hours we used to do. I think our longest was the one we cut. It was like 2.5 maybe.
Yeah. But we just chatted shit on that one.
And we were drunk, so we didn't even look at the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And a lot of it was silence, I think.
Thank you all for watching this episode of JvstVIbing. It was actually a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun doing a special episode like this. Wouldn't you boys agree?
Yes.
Yeah, it was tons of fun.
What's
Yeah.
our next topic, Jake? Put you on the spot right now. Go.
Our next topic, next episode, we're actually going to be returning to our normal format. We're just going to take it easy, take a quick break. Maybe episode after that, we'll do something special. Maybe not a theme, but we'll do something different to celebrate. But also,
themes. I like themes. If someone wants to suggest some themes, we'll have a look into them.
Also, if you guys do want to jump in with any interesting conspiracy theories of your own on the YouTube side of things, don't hesitate. Drop them in the comments below. We'll read them if we can, and we'll, react to it if we get the chance
But
to.
if you really, really want to, tweet exactly at Hunkratti.
Yeah, or you could also tweet at SaladHorse.
Those are both good options to tweet
Or
at.
if you're a Women's Day fan, tweet at all three of us.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you because apparently you don't exist.
Wait. Before we continue, what is Giggs' Twitter account?
Oh, but no one knows. I don't even know.
Oh no, you're gonna edit it out, you bastard. you bastard.
I do know what it is, but I'm not saying.
Yeah. But yeah, next time we'll be returning to a normal episode. If you guys have any interesting themes or topics you want us to discuss soon, let us know. We are still also going to be doing a Dead by Daylight video in the future when that time comes. I don't know. We'll see when there's more public outcry, I guess. And also, don't forget, if we hit either 15 subscribers on YouTube or if we hit 15 monthly listeners on Spotify, we can
15 monthly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we did say 15 monthly.
Right.
We will do I believe it was either we'll do another attempt of drinking with idiots or we'll do the King's Cup video that we were talking about.
Oh god.
Yeah, so
right.
that's
Interesting.
gonna be interesting. But thank you all so much for watching. My name is Hunkratti.
I'm Salad.
Gigs.
And we are
Just vibing.
Just vibing.
Hey, we all butchered it. Yay.